Travels with My Opera Glasses, written by Anthony Ogus and narrated by the author. Copyright 2013, Anthony Ogus. Production copyright 2014, Ogus Productions. Chapter 1. Introduction. Opera Mania. It was May 1962. Aged then 16, I had been slow to appreciate classical music, but was keen on theatre. I thought it was time to give opera a try, never having been to it before. I lived in a London suburb, so the Royal Opera or Covent Garden was the obvious place to start. But what should I see? There was no one in the family or a friend who was an opera-goer and who could advise me. The red and yellow posters at my local station told me that during the weeks ahead performances would be given of Madama Butterfly, La Bohème, Aida, and A Midsummer Night's Dream. Now you might have expected me to opt for Aida, which had the great Russian soprano Galina Vishnevskaya in the title role, or La Bohème, which even I, in my ignorant state, was aware was a popular work, and this revival boasted Victoria de Los Angeles among its cast. But no, I chose Britain's Dream, primarily because I knew and loved the play, and therefore thought that it would be a good starting point. I was wrong. Britain's airy-fairy music did not appeal, and I was unsettled by the sound of a countertenor voice, which was used for the leading role of Oberon, but which was completely new to me. The work was later to become one of my favourite 20th century operas, capturing as it does so well the spirit and also the language of Shakespeare, but it was not a sensible choice for my initiation. It was a year or so before my next operatic outing, and even then I studiously avoided the popular Italian repertory, perhaps because, with the arrogance of an aspiring intellectual sixth-former, I suspected that it was insufficiently highbrow. But once I had gratified my snobism with Stravinsky's Rake's Progress and the Brecht viol piece The Rise and Fall of the City of Mahagoni, both admirably staged at Sadler's Wells, I was soon into Mozart, Wagner, and yes, at last, Verdi and Puccini. In 1965, a holiday in Italy, which included performances of Rigoletto, Aida and Turandot, finally cured me of my absurd prejudices, and I was now truly hooked on opera. During my student days I explored most of the mainstream repertory. I listened to recordings of some of the pieces at home, thanks to the invaluable local record library. Some I came to know through piano-accompanied concert performances, given by the Oxford University Opera Club at the Holywell Music Rooms. I also made regular visits to Covent Garden and Sadler's Wells, though, because my budget was limited, invariably in the cheaper seats or standing at the back of the stall's circle. Obtaining employment as a university lecturer and the purchase of my first car enabled me to extend geographically the range of my operatic experiences, and that included the festival scene. During 1967 I drove my Mini through the Alps to Verona, where I attended 2 performances at the famous arena. In those days you simply turned up and paid 2,000 lire for a ticket. Back across the Brenner Pass to the Munich Festival, and then, the climax of the trip, to Bayreuth. Wagner was then my favourite composer, and in a period of 8 days I saw 6 of his works, Rienzi and Meistersinger at Munich, and the 4 evenings of the Ring in Bayreuth. Yes, it can truly be said that I had succumbed to opera mania, and the disease was at its most ravaging during the 1970s. One highlight was a tour of Czechoslovakia, which included experiences both operatic and political. This was the period of the clampdown after the Prague Spring. Both experiences proved to be memorable and moving, and I wrote an account of them which was published in the Berlin opera magazine Orpheus. This led to an invitation to become the journal's British correspondent, and for 18 glorious months I had free tickets for performances at Covent Garden and elsewhere. It made me feel very grand to pop into the press office, chat to the press officer, and survey the production photographs. I also enjoyed composing the reviews, but there was a problem.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?